everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of two different TAG Heuer Carrera models, and what I wanted to do is just sort of show you similarities and differences, because there's actually more similar here than there is different. So on the one hand, you have here one version of the TAG Heuer Carrera, and this is the 1887 in a 43mm wide steel case. And this is the TAG Heuer Carrera Heuer 01 in a 43mm case, of course, again in steel. Now the movements are technically different, but very, very similar. The Heuer 01 is basically a different version of the 1887 in terms of how it is constructed. So they're both essentially the same architecture, but the Heuer 01 is a little bit more modern in its execution, different rotor, different bridges and things like that. The 1887 is a little bit different. But again, functionally, there we go. You can see there a little bit different execution there. Functionally, these are the same, essentially the same movement as far as I know. They're an automatic 12-hour chronograph with the date. Both these watches have ceramic bezels. The bezel is a little bit thicker here. You can see it's a whole bezel structure in black ceramic on the Heuer 01 version, and on the 1887 version you have a ceramic insert. This is sort of a grayer dial, and like I said, there's different versions of this. This is going to be what I'll say is your more classic Carrera. Interestingly enough, the cases are not identical, even though they are both Carreras. And what I mean by that is they both have similar style lugs, similar theme of pushers, similar style bracelet, similar style deploying clasp, but they are completely different cases. So, for example, you look at the side here of the 1887, slightly more classic proportions, and you can see how the lug is designed there. If you look at this one here, totally different. You have this this curve right here, and then you have a little bit more of an angular look. Interestingly enough, and I'll put that these actually are not sized for my wrist, but here you can see this on the wrist here. This one is, again, a little bit more modern. Most versions of the Heuer 01 have a skeletonized dial, so this is what I guess you'd call the most classic version of the Heuer 01 with the non-skeletonized dial and the steel bracelet and the steel case, and it's just sort of one tone. And that makes it a little bit interesting, because again, this is the Heuer 01, which is meant to look as much like a classic Carrera as possible. I have a different version of this exact watch with a different dial. I like it a lot. I actually was surprised at how much I liked this watch when I first got it, because I had actually never worn a Carrera before, and I was like, wow, this is really comfortable. It feels really good. Nice, very good curved sapphire crystal there, not a lot of glare. Just really nicely done. I have the Nendo version, which, as many people know, has a different set of hands and a black dial. This also comes with a black dial. I think there's sort of a brown version as well. This is sort of a solid metallic gray, which I like. It's a pretty handsome piece there. Bracelets are even slightly different there. This one's actually a little bit wider and slightly different, just link style than this one here. And again, these watches are very similar. They're even priced very similar. They're within $100 of one another. There's just a little bit more money for the Heuer 01. Why? Well, it's newer. I think the movement has a couple of extra steps involved. The dial is a little bit more complicated. Which one is right for you? It's really a matter of taste, because again, so much is similar about it. So again, this is the Carrera 1887, 43mm wide. This is a Carrera Heuer 01, also 43mm wide. Price for this model is $5,050. Price for this one is $5,150. And you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.